There have been many times where he has been arrested for various things. I think at this point now, I want to say, I think he's 25. Maybe older than that. At this point, what would he be, 29? $25, somewhere along those lines. He's 23. Yeah, 23. Yeah, you're right. My bad. So he's 23 years old now. He's, from what I understand, he's not working. He stays home all the time. Jlynn is very protective of her kids, which doesn't mean anything because, let's face it, any of us that are parents are very protective of our kids. Yep, she never brought him to therapy. That was another thing. Never brought him to a psychologist for any type of trauma treatment. It's just a lot of questions, So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I am going to start getting all the names of the players involved. Because as Emily and Dora put it, a lot of those people are no longer around. And I think it would be interesting to find out, why are they no longer around? What happened? What happened to them? And you know, again, this is a very small county. It's the type of county, and especially in this town where they lived, it's a small rural town. Okay, still standing. If you look at the property in that area and you look at landowners, that's a ton of them. A ton of them, relatives. And one of the interesting things that up was that one of the relatives, I'm not going to say who it is yet because I want to do a little more research. This person owns a lot of land in that town, a lot of land. Oh, no, they're related because they all have the same last name. Yeah, I see what you're saying, secondhand. Yep, they're all related or they all know each other. But there's one of them that owns a ton of land. And I'm interested to find out what this person does for a living. Because my guess is that this person, whatever job they have, wouldn't own that much property. They wouldn't have that much money to be able to put out to buy all of these parcels of land. So somebody reached out to me from that town to that person and getting some background and all that. So easy shit. So does anybody anything that I could be missing that needs to be looked into to have other people, other ears and eyes, and which person it was? I think it was Hawkster who said, play that recording again, and I over her words there until you pointed it out. Yep. You know what? I don't know about that, Diva. That's a good question. Diva asked, did Kara and jlynn run around together at all? Did they know each other? I don't have any information on that. I'll have to ask Emily if she knows anything, or if Dora knows anything about that, because I just don't know. I mean, they went to school together. Okay. And I was going to say, still standing, if Kara had been up to her parents on occasion, I'm sure they would have crossed paths too. I 100% feel that she was framed. 100%. I mean, that Kara had, she got into problems with the law because she was an addict. She was not a violent person. So they knew each other. Okay. Still standing. Do you want to come up here in a box? Can you replay where she stumbled on her words? Yeah, let me pull that up one more time.
People just need to go. Night, Prost. Because I know I didn't do nothing. Why would I be so fucked up if I did it? Prost. Because I know I didn't do nothing. Why would I be so fucked up if I did it?
Sound like she said, if I did it. Why would I be so effed up if I did it? Yep, Grammy D, I 100% believe that. I still standing. I didn't know if you wanted to come up because you know a lot about it. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. Why would I be so effed up if I did it? I do too. I do too, Grammy D. Because, regardless, like I said, regardless of how it went down, okay, there's still 3 people that lost their lives. And it didn't have to happen. Okay, still. Regardless of what happened, this young man, when he was a child, was a part of something that happened that was not good. Hold on a minute. Hold on, I just got an email that I have to read. I'm sorry. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Hold on a minute. The person who just emailed me, would you be able to just let me know? Can you email me and let me know if who you are right now? If you are who you are? Hey, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Yeah, that was me that just emailed you. I have to be a
Okay.
little bit careful because I've got so many different accounts and I've been following her for quite a while, jlynn. I was a former mod. I hate to say a whole lot because there's a lot that needs to be investigated. So I just wanted to kind of give you a really quick rundown. Posting her lives when she's just kind of off her rocker and her wall, if that makes sense. But I started going after her because of what she did to me personally as being a mod, and I lost a lot of money from her. And that's a different story. Tonight we're talking about Kara Garvin and justice because Kara is serving life without parole.
Right.
And that hits hard. And there's no doubt in my mind that this girl was set up. The reason I know a lot about jlynn is I follow her every track. I still record her. I have a case against her with the Ohio Attorney General's office for what she took from me. And they're still asking me to send video evidence to them because they're building a case on her. But that is pretty much public knowledge, but I do want to just be really careful about what I say about what I do know about this situation with Kara. And I'd like to talk to you on the phone if that's okay. But I just kind of wanted to clear some stuff up because I didn't want a lot of confusion with people saying, well, how does this girl know what all she knows?
Right.
But
Is there any how long have you been in the live with me so far?
the live with you tonight,
Yeah.
pretty much from the start.
So, was there any information that you know of that, or any questions that I brought up that you know the answers to,
Yes.
and you don't want to share those on here?
I can share to a point. The situation I'm in is I had to end up selling my home when this happened with her scamming me out of so much money and the involvement. And
Okay.
I moved to a different state. Nobody but, well, my family knows where I'm at, but as far as TikTok and the internet, there's one person that I've known for a long time, and she's the only one that knows that I've moved, but she does not know my location. And I just get nervous. I don't sleep at night since I met jlynn 2 years ago. This has done a number on me. It really has. I wake up through the middle of the night and the wheels are turning in my head, trying to figure out now, especially with this awareness coming on about Kara. My heart breaks for that girl. She was definitely set up. She was framed. There are numerous people involved in this, and it just breaks my heart. So at this point, I'm to the point where I don't really care what I say because I'm in so deep. I'm not going to be able to get out by just disappearing and not being on the internet or not talking to anybody because I know too much. And the reason I say that is because jlynn would call me late at night, and we had daily contact for almost a year. And she would talk and talk and talk and talk. And anybody that follows her and listens to her lives and knows that she is a scammer, number one, big time scammer. She's a liar. She's a manipulator. I would just sit back and listen to those phone conversations, and she told me stuff that she shouldn't have not told me. And that bothers me. It's like, why did you put me in this situation? And I've dug deep into it. I'm very interested in psychology. I don't have any degree, but it's like I look at these people like her, and I'm like, what makes your mind tick? What's going on in there? You know, they're so smart. They're masterminds. But yet they're so dumb because they talk and they tell it all.
I have a few questions before we get into some of this other stuff. Why is it that you moved?
Because she found out that the day I got away from her, I went to Mexican Homies Live because I got involved with Truth About You. Her and I talked a lot on the phone about what jlynn was doing and scamming the money and what she did about Randy's passing. Her boyfriend. I know a lot about that. It just went on and on and on. And the deeper I got involved in it, it was like, I can't just keep basically like hanging with her, being a mod, being an enabler. This is wrong. And I've had to have counseling because of what has happened with her. Because the day that she finally caught on to what I had actually did, she caught me in Mexican Homies Live. She texted me while I was in that live talking to all of you guys in boxes about her and said, I can't believe you did this to me. I thought I could trust you. It makes me sick that you turned on me. And that was the last contact I had with her. But she found out my house because she knew my house was for sale. She was smart enough to look at real estate listings. She found out that she had a picture from the real estate listing of the house. She had my address. She had my phone number, of course, because I thought I could trust her. And she started sending the county sheriff's department to my house. And I lived alone. I'm 66 years old right now. Jaylynn's boyfriend, Randy, was unalived in that car accident on the 14th of February of last year. And my husband passed away 13 days later. And that's when she started calling me. And I had to go to counseling because this has wore at me so bad. And my counselor told me that she developed what's called a trauma bond with me.
Yep.
And I had no clue what this guy's talking about. I'm like, that's crazy. I wouldn't bond with somebody over trauma, but she hit the nail on the head. I found out through about 9 months of counseling now, she knows what she's talking about. It is a trauma bond. You know, she had something in common with me. My husband passed away. Randy got killed. You know, I'm sorry I said that word. He was unalived 13 days later. We talked and talked and talked. We talked about the baby that she supposedly had that has disappeared. She told me about that before she ever told the people in her life one night. And I had told her that I had lost twin boys. They were born premature. They were born alive and they passed away an hour and a half later. There's another part of the trauma bond. Everything that we talked about, she picked up on, and it's like bizarre at this point. So the reason I moved was because she was sending the county sheriff's department out to my house telling them that I was harassing her on the internet and I was cyberbullying her. And the sheriff's department comes out there and he was shocked when he opens the door and there's an old lady at the door. And she wouldn't quit the phone calls to the sheriff's department. And finally I thought, you know, she knows where I live. She's got my phone number. How do I get out of this? So I ended up selling my home that I had just lost my husband. I lost him the end of February, and I sold my home on May the 16th. So my house went on the market immediately, and it was a 4-bedroom house that my husband and I had bought and almost half paid for, and I had planned on living there the rest of my life.
Right.
You know, and I did not feel comfortable her knowing my address, my phone number, and so much about me. So that's why I'm actually hesitant to talk. But it's like at this point, you know, she's got to be stopped. This, you know, Kara deserves justice. This girl does not need this. She has no involvement in this. And she was mine.
Now, one of the questions that I know that that Diary of Crime put in the chat was, did you offer jlynn a place to stay for a while?
Where that came from was her and I were talking on a live. I was in her box, and that was when we were just getting to the point where I was becoming aware of who she was. And at that point, she was losing her home like she does every 2 months, you know, and crying, and I don't have anywhere to go. Mind you, I had just lost my husband the 28th of February. And this was in either April or like the end of April. And I made a comment to her that I said, I've got a 4-bedroom house. There's bedrooms upstairs. I could possibly have you and the girls come and stay with me until you can find a place. And it nonchalantly like that.
So to answer your question, Scammy, that was a yes.
Well, yeah, I did. I did not. I did offer her that her and the girls could come there. That I had a Rottweiler, and she said she had, I think, 3 dogs at the time. And I said, I can't have dogs here. The house is up for sale. It's on the market. So yes, you know, to be very blunt and honest and truthful, because I've always tried to be this way with truth also. Yes, I did say you and the girls could come and live here. Or not live here, but you and the girls could come and stay here until you found a place.
Right. I just wanted that to be put out there since we were talking about jlynn having your address and making her sound like
Now, I need some help, to be honest with you, and I'm not making excuses. You know, I've said before on these lives, I take full accountability for everything. It was probably within a 2 to a maybe 3 month period after she lost Randy and my husband passed away. I was by myself, you know, still going through the grieving process. I'm not making excuses because that's what it sounds like. That just makes my mind, you know, I'm still just a year and 2 months into the grieving process.
yeah, that's not an excuse. That's a trauma. bond. That's
I do take accountability for saying, and I'd come and stay there until they could find a place. I felt sorry for her. You know, I fell into her little trap. I fell into her crying, and I mean, I enabled her. You know, truth, you've got receipts of what I sent her. When Anthony was in jail for the DUI in July of last year, she had me call the jail and talk to them and tell them to watch him and put him on a suicide watch because he doesn't sleep at night because of the trauma from the unalived. Unalived. She's bizarre. I'm embarrassed for falling in that trap with her. I'm ashamed, you know, and we admit that. But yes, I did in her live one night because I was in her live and I was in there for hours in her box and I was standing up for her. I was her biggest crusader. She had that much control over my head. You know, but yeah, I mean, to answer your question, Truth, you are correct on that, and I do take full accountability. That was said, and it was said on a live. If someone has recorded that, they could play it back and reiterate. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because sometimes I need to be grounded. This has been a hard mess to get into.
I think at this point, my concern comes in that you were in such fear that you had to sell your home and move, but yet you still have so much involvement of the person that you said that you're fearful of. And where has this gone with your filing against her? Because I haven't seen. Because I haven't seen.
Yeah, I can do that if that's what you're asking me to do. I don't feel like I should put myself in that position. But
no, I didn't ask for the file as of right now.
I received a phone call a couple months ago, and they said that they're still looking into all of the paperwork. I sent them tons of videos. The Ohio State Attorney General's office was where I got the phone call from. He said, and that's why I still today, I tape every single one of her lives, and every time she's on Super Life, I've got it on my devices, and I send every one of those recordings of everything she does to the Ohio Attorney General's office, because he said he can build a stronger case against her if he knows that she's still online today, begging for money, begging for her internet money, crying around because she's getting evicted. She has enablers every day in her life, sending her grocery orders, and I've got all that recorded. That's why I'm still involved in that.
Still standing. Can I ask you a question? I just wanted some clarification on something.
Yes.
You said that you put your house up for sale because you were scared of her because she knew where you lived?
That was part of it, yes. Another part was I had just lost my $72 a month. I went down to Social Security disability income. I lost 3 paychecks from him passing away.
Okay.
I had my daughter helping me with the house payment. So it was a big financial burden. I was a single widow by myself. My daughter lives on the other side of the United States. I have 1 child. So I was pretty much by myself.
Okay. So there were a couple.
That had a factor in it, yes. You know, financial reasons. It wasn't feasible for me to keep a 4-bedroom house. Plus the numerous times that the sheriff's department would come knocking on the door at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night saying, we just got this phone call.
I understand, and that's why.
Yes, yeah. Yes, yeah.
I understand how then, while your house was for sale, you offered for her and the girls to come stay, but you said you couldn't take the dogs because the house was for sale. But if the factor was that you were scared of her, why would you have her offer to come stay if that's one of the reasons that you were selling your house?
Okay. At that exact date and time, I was not afraid. Next and homies lied and sent me the text messages and said, I can't believe.
Let me stop you really quick. Let me stop you really quick. And I don't.
Welcome to answer any questions. Yes.
I'm just trying to understand the timeline.
Yeah.
So if that happened before you decided to sell the house.
Yeah. The house went on the market on.
And when did you invite her to stay with you?
That was in.
But
probably
that doesn't.
3 weeks before.
But and please understand, I'm working on clarification here because it's not making sense to me. And I completely understand about trauma bonds. I get that. And your house was already put up for sale when you invited her to come stay.
Okay, the house was not actually on the market. There was no sign in the front yard. It said her and the girls could come and stay because they had nowhere to go. I felt sorry for her. My heart broke for her. The house got listed, I'm going to say 2 weeks maximum, after I said you could come and stay with me. But the house actually, and I can back that up with records. I got all the property records and everything, and the listing for the house on the day from there. The house was not actually active on the girls could come and stay with me until you find a place.
And when did you offer to let her stay?
That was, I know that somebody's got record of all of her lives. I'm thinking maybe Truth might have somewhere because they go back even the night that Randy left the house. It would have been, I'm wanting to say, no.
And then when did you make a decision that you were going to sell the house?
That was between the end of April and May 16th, because I made the house payment for February and March and April, and I didn't make this payment.
That clarifies for me a little bit. And
everything happened very fast in that time frame. And I understand your questioning that, you know, and I know that there's videos out there that can back up what I'm saying as far as the dates, because I was in the box when I did tell her on her live. So whoever records and streams her lives would have proof of that.
Well, I'm sorry for the loss of your husband, and I'm sorry that you had to deal with her with this stuff right after that. That's and having to deal with that.
And I'm willing to answer any questions from anybody. And like I said, I've got paper. And like I said, I've got paper. And I don't have them in front of me right now. Most of that stuff is in a safe that I keep now. So
just be careful. Just be careful and take care of yourself. Protect yourself. Don't risk. Don't, no risk.
Much as I did before I sold the house and moved away. Nobody really, I'm not going to say nobody knows where I'm at, because you can start doing Google searches and stuff will come up. I'm not going to be naive and say I'm not ever going to be found and I'm safe. My husband has taught me how to use a pew-pew. I've got a proper license and I have a Rottweiler. So I feel safe and
with a change of location and all that, I think you're in a better position than you were.
It messes with my head more than anything.
Right.
If that makes any sense, I don't sleep. It's on my mind constantly. And now that we've got what's going on with Kara, it's like there's some things that she's told me, meaning Jaylan, and I've got some messages from some people in the past 2 days that are connected
Yep.
with Jaylan, and the stories are adding up. And there's
Tell
other
me
things
something.
that need to be looked into.
Tell me something. What is the biggest concern that you have? Because you said that you're not that concerned as you used to be. But what is your biggest concern right now?
My number one concern right now, off the top of my head, is getting justice for Kara. There is no doubt in my mind or my heart or my head that she had anything to do with what happened at that moment when that family was unalived. She did not pull that.
Are you saying this based on information that you were told?
Information I was told, and then information that I've looked into the past couple of days since I've been told it. Everything I've told matches up with what I'm finding, plus what Jaylan told me in the past year.
Has there been any information? Any information? Kara was not involved. Kara was not involved.
Yes.
Okay. Well, what I would like to do, if you would like to do it, is, maybe tomorrow. Truth, would you be willing to do a Discord call with Still Standing and me tomorrow?
I have a problem doing that, but still standing's evidence against this not pointing towards Kara would just be hearsay, right?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, still standing, correct?
As in hearsay, if you mean like a text message from a person that's involved in her background and lives where this happened and has and has and has that were given to me that I need to get out to somebody because those people need to be pulled in. And I know who people are from knowing Jaylan and her loose lips.
That wouldn't happen to be the same girl that attended my live when I had Kara Garvin's mom interviewed for 5 straight hours. That says that she knows everything but can't say anything because of her boyfriend, baby daddy, husband, cousin, whatever he was.
I wasn't in that live to remember names or anything, so I can't really honestly answer that. I can give you the screenshot of the person that sent me this. This person claims that she was there the night Randy was unalived, and she described that it was torture hearing the noises coming from him on waiting on an ambulance to get there because he was still alive when he hit the house. If that makes any sense. Because I mean, I don't want to point fingers or give names out, on a right. In truth, that makes a little sense to you. But I don't know who you're talking about in that live because mom was in your live.
Well, let's do this, okay? Let's do this because it is getting kind of late here. Okay. Have you ever used Discord before?
Yeah, I am in Discord.
Are you in my Discord?
I actually joined it yesterday.
Okay, so you're in there
I'm the one
already?
that sent the clip that you played a while ago where.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Oh, okay. Oh, good.
Just want the evidence out to the proper people, and I don't know what channels to go to. And I know that you and that Truth, she's covered this for a long time.
Yes, she's the queen. Yes, she's the queen.
With Miss Audrey and
Mhm.
saying, okay, you know, my what I'm wanting right now is I'm wanting justice for this girl. I'm wanting justice for this girl.
Need some peace too.
I need that very badly.
Yeah.
You know. And I want him to the think I'm 95% sure it could make a difference.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let me reach out to you after this. Okay. Still standing in time tomorrow where we can talk. And you know, if Truth wants to be in on that call, absolutely.
Yeah, I would welcome that. And the person that reached out to me a couple days ago is the same person that Truth is talking about. But in the past 2 days, I've spent probably 20 out of 20 of these names that she's given me. And there's a connection with what you.
It might be the same name. I'm in direct contact with Audrey almost daily.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Well, let's do that tomorrow, Truth. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Did you send me the email to join that link?
Send me. I will text it to you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just text me.
Okay. I'll send you that tonight, and then we'll get.
I would welcome that. I got to get this out of my head.
Yep.
This girl that I'm looking at here on the left of my screen, she's beautiful, and I've followed a little bit. I signed a petition on her mother's page. I think Truth sent me a link several months ago to sign a petition for the case to be reopened. I even contribute $30 a month on the change.org website that's connected with that. It's taken out of my bank account every month because I feel like I've got a personal connection with this. And I'm sitting here looking at that beautiful eye, and she was set up.
I think so. Do you guys want to do this now? I mean, Truth,
Yeah.
do you want
to? Now would be great.
Yeah, that's totally fine with me.
Okay.
Fine with me. Pops in my head, and I can't get. It's like I can't function.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this now. I will. Ems, I will send you a link to the Discord. Okay.
Okay.
Still standing. What? Do me a favor and email me what your username is in the Discord,
Okay.
so I know who. I'll set up a call in like about 5 minutes. Okay.
That's great. I appreciate that so much.
Okay.
And if everybody in the comments could stop asking who Still Standing is, that would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, she's somebody that's still in fear of her safety, and I'm sure she doesn't want her name out there.
Exactly. So, okay. So, I'll wrap things up here. Okay. So, I mean, you guys know I'm going to get off now. And you know what, the hopefully what, what can come out of it is maybe some information that can be forwarded to Miss Audrey, and,
I sure hope so. because I want
That's
justice
the most.
wrong on all
Yeah.
parts.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so let's get off here, guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you two in a few minutes, and we'll see. Okay, take care, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
True.